What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of
Hashtag Ask LiveLeanTV, where we take your questions, answer them for you in depth on camera.
All right, guys, so we've been having a blast doing this show. And on Snapchat a little while ago, I went on a little rant because you guys are watching, you're listening. I think to date we had over 50,000 listens to this podcast.
Awesome job, guys.
But there's always a but. My
Right,
rant
doing something wrong.
on Snapchat was we got all these people listening, but over on iTunes we have like nobody.
There was like 5 reviews.
There's like 6 reviews. I mean, there's more now after I went on that rant.
Thanks for those of you who took action.
Yeah, but the thing is, guys, for us to be able to grow this podcast, for iTunes to serve it out to more people, to get into certain categories that people will find us, we need your engagement by going over to iTunes, rating the show, and then leaving a comment what you like about the show or whatever you want to comment. The more engagement we get over there, the more people we can help grow this mission.
Yes, and you know, it's such a simple, quick thing that you can do easily. It doesn't cost you anything, so it's just we're asking as a favor, like please just take the 2 minutes out of your day and go click those buttons.
If over the 700 videos that we've done, you've ever learned a thing from us, this is what we want you guys to do for us right now. So please go over to iTunes and do that. So with that said, let's jump right into the show. You're feeling good? How far along are you now?
Feeling good. Yeah, guys, we are now 9 months pregnant. So like everywhere I go, people are like, "Oh my God, she's about to pop." Yes.
Every other radio.
They think it's like imminent, but we really have like 3 more weeks left, or 4 maybe.
But we got the hospital bag packed.
Yep.
We
got
have
the house ready.
the
car seat.
baby car seats, and we're ready to go. We're ready to get this baby out and start the next phase of our life.
I'm so excited. And I'm ready to get my abs back, bro. Can't wait.
All right, let's go. We got 10 questions we're answering on today's episode. Let's start it off from, I think this might be Facebook. No, this is probably Instagram, from J-Ro Sanders. She asks, I am over 300 pounds. I have no health issues, no diabetes. I am lucky. I am just now starting to have joint discomfort and am getting desperate. Been a 20-year plus war. Very tempted to join your site and all, but worried I am too heavy for the exercises you might recommend. I swim, elliptical, and weights. I have PCOS, so weight loss is extremely difficult, and my story is a long one. But when you are a certain size, a lot is intimidating. I guess my question is, am I beyond you being able to help? I admire y'all so much and love following y'all on social media. Great chemistry and delivery. Keep up the great work.
Oh, what a sweet message. Love it.
What do you got?
Okay, so the main question is, are you beyond us helping you?
Yeah.
Or beyond all help?
Is our teachings, probably, she's wondering, too advanced for someone beginning?
Some of it, yes, but some of it, no. And I feel like, you know, I hate to say this because it sounds like you have a really good attitude about things, but I just think that it's a lot of times all too easy to go into the attitude of like, it's not going to work for me, or I'm different, or I'm unique in some way, when the reality is there's lots of people who have started our programs at 300 or more pounds. Didn't we have someone who was like 480?
I'm surprised you said that.
What?
It might be too difficult.
What? Some of the things.
Because
I'm not going to recommend that she does burpees, although we do recommend burpees, but not for her.
Yeah, but the thing is, like you mentioned, you were thinking about joining our site.
Yeah.
It's a community-based site, so if you have questions, or if you need modifications to exercises, or if you need whatever you need, we are there for you. That's one of the big benefits to having this site is you have our ear because you are a valued member of our TeamLiveLean.com community. The questions you have, there was a Facebook page that you guys can go in. You can talk to people. We answer your questions, so we will customize stuff to help you out. That's one of the reasons for the site. So,
well, and the other thing is we have how many workout programs on there? I mean, there's tons. So a lot of them are going to be fine for you. Some of them are really advanced, but there's also modifications with every single one for the ultimate beginner. So
I mean, like they're advanced. They're not necessarily advanced.
They can be advanced.
Like you can regress any program by just lifting less weight, taking longer rest periods, taking less reps.
Yeah.
Like you can totally, and I know you're saying you're still a beginner and you may not know these things, but basically like the programs that we develop, they can be regressed, they can be or progressed, they can be regressed to make them easier. You just have to ask the questions of how to do that. And we are here to help you answer those questions. And you say that you already swim, which is awesome. You do elliptical, which is awesome. And you do weights. So you already are familiar with weights.
Right.
We're not putting in these crazy exercises that you have never seen in our Team Live Lean programs. It's the standard basic exercises, squats, deadlifts, presses, the exercises that everybody should do. You may get scared about to do a deadlift, but a deadlift is like bending over, picking up your grocery bags and putting the grocery bags on the shelf. It's functional movements. You just have to kind of think of it that way as opposed to looking at maybe videos that we do where we're lifting heavy weights and doing everything. That's not what we expect from you. Just lower the weights, lower the reps. You just kind of have to use your, use common sense when it comes to doing somebody else's programs. So bottom line is, yes, you can do our programs. If you have questions, feel free to ask us. We will do whatever we can to make them work for you. Like, we're not targeting these things to a specific people. We're trying to train the world. So regardless of what your background, we want to help you.
Yeah, and definitely our programs are not just for fit athletic people only.
No,
like our programs are for everyone.
So what I want you to do right now is go over to our website, LiveLeanTV.com/testimonials. Go over there and look at all the people that have done our programs, have followed our advice, have watched us on LiveLean TV, who has transformed their lives. There's people there that have been over 300 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
And go look at their after picture from just following our recommendations. Like, it'll inspire you.
And it doesn't mean they were doing like the hardest workouts on day one. It takes some building up, you know, it takes some patience, but the attitude is so important. That's what I want to get across the point of, like, for all of you guys listening, if you think that you can't do something, you've already defeated yourself. So, I understand like intimidation might be a factor in the beginning, but that's great that you answered this question, because we can tell you, even if you feel intimidated, that's okay. Like, a lot of people feel intimidated in the beginning, but don't think that it's not for you.
Yeah, I guarantee there's a whole bunch of other people in Team Live Lean that are intimidated as well.
Yeah.
So put a post up in our new Facebook, what is it called?
The
Facebook
exclusive members group. Yeah.
And somebody else will say, I felt you, I feel you, I've been there, here's what I did to get over it. So, there's a community there that wants to help you just like we do.
Yeah.
So hopefully that answers your question. Let's move on to the next one.
Okay, we have one from Tiff, at the Femme Geek on Twitter. Says, hi Brad and Jess, I'm mainly doing a bike trainer at home to start working out. Are your daily eats vids good for me? Daily eats?
I think it's just daily
like
foods you eat.
Videos?
Yeah. I mean, our philosophy on nutrition is eat real food. How could that not work for anybody? Honestly. Like, we're not telling you to take these crazy, it's focus on real food first.
Or like go on 0 carb diets, or like.
No, it's like,
we don't get all crazy with like.
I mean, obviously there's progressions to where you are, but if you're beginning, everything that we've posted on LiveLeanTV, everything we posted in our cookbook, anything we've ever posted anywhere, everybody can do it.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get that across in this, because it kind of seems like these people are, the first two questions are, does your stuff work for me?
Yeah.
I have this issue, I have this issue, I have this issue.
Yeah.
But guess what? It does. Yeah. It's fitness.
All of y'all.
We got no magic mushrooms and all this other stuff. It's plain, like it is.
And if our programs and our food advice was only for a certain niche of person, then we would say that, we would say, oh, only watch this video if you're already fit.
Yeah.
But like, that's ridiculous, because why would we be making fitness stuff for people who are already fit?
Once again, go over to their testimonials. I bet you will find somebody in those photos of, like, I forget how many, there's like tens of, close to 100 transformations there. You'll find someone that is similar to you, and they have made the change in life.
And you know what? Those are only the photos of people who are brave enough to show their photos on the internet. Like, there are so many more that tell us they got amazing results and they don't show it.
All the time.
Because, it's kind of hard to put yourself out there with photos on the internet of your, like, half naked body.
Yeah.
So if you are one of those success stories and you just haven't submitted your photos, please do, you know, because this is really powerful stuff. And like for people who are really intimidated or who are unsure if our stuff is going to work for them, it helps to see that other people have been there and done that.
Yeah.
So don't be shy.
So if you want to send in your before and after transformation photos with like a 1 to 2 sentence story of what you did, how you changed yourself, send them to info@LiveLeanTV.com, and we'll get back to you and talk to you about putting that on our site to inspire more people.
We really love to see that, but it's not really about us, it's for other people. So just think of someone who's in the position you were when you started and think how much that could help them.
Yeah. All right, next question from Twitter comes from Carla Gathan. She's been posting quite a bit, so thank you for your engagement. She asks, what tools do you recommend we invest in to aid in a live lean life? For example, a food scale, an activity tracker, etc.
Okay.
Good question.
Yeah. I started thinking workout tools like jump rope, etc.
Yeah, that could
Maybe
fall
other
under that.
things too. Yeah. Yeah, so I do love, I think a foam roller is great if your gym doesn't have them. If your gym has them, you can use them there. Like a lot of stuff you can just use at your gym if you go to one.
Yeah.
But if you're working out from home, I would say some dumbbells are nice to have. Like a mat, exercise mat for stretching and stuff like that.
So let's say she has a gym membership.
Okay, so you just use everything at the gym.
Yeah.
But things you need at home in your kitchen is a great question. I like the food processor. I think that's huge. I didn't always use one, but since we've had one, I use it a ton.
A blender.
And I think it's great for making different textures out of healthy foods, because that's one of the things. One of the ways that healthy food gets boring is if you eat it the same way every time. So the food processor really helps with switching things up. The blender's amazing. We use it every day for smoothies. What else? The food scale is definitely good, especially if you don't know how much food you should be eating.
That's what I was going to say. So food scale is one of the things that it's a starting point for you. So if you're new to this, put in your time. This is like school.
Do the work.
This is your education. Once you use the scale for, let's just say, a month or 3 weeks or 2 weeks.
Even a day is
It was
helpful.
one of the things that changed my life when it comes to nutrition, and it set me on the path that I'm at now, because I understand the energy that is in food. I understand the macros that are in food, everything about it. I could look at a sweet potato and be like, boom, that's this many calories, that's this many carbs, and I know this is my portion size I should have. So I don't do that. I don't count calories on a scale every day now, but I did in the beginning to get me to where I am today, and I highly recommend people do it.
You would have never known that if you hadn't done the work and measured the stuff. It's so important, and I think a lot of times people see us and they just think that we're naturally fit or something like that, but they didn't see all the work that we put in, nutritionally, especially. The gym, all the workouts is beside the point, but nutritionally, that's huge.
That's on point.
I always tell my clients, if you can get your nutrition on point, then your workouts are second, really. They are.
Yeah.
I know it doesn't seem like it. Sometimes it seems like getting fit is all about working out and you just need to work out more and harder, but that's not really.
But the thing is, when you do work out, you can eat more food, which then fuels the muscle, which then burns more fat.
And they go together magically.
It's just
they really do.
Yeah.
Right?
We don't recommend just doing one.
No.
But honestly, I've always said this, if I had to only do one thing, either eat healthy or work out to get results, eating healthy would be hands over heels? Head over heels, more important, in my opinion, than working out.
Yeah, I agree. But let's not even go there because we love working out.
So a food scale. So let's just say a food scale would be what we would recommend if you're beginning. And I'll put a link down below because we have a food scale that we really like. It's really, we think we have it on our counter. It's in one of our drawers over there, but it's really slick looking. It works well. We'll put a link of that down below. Next question.
Measuring cups are also nice, but food scale definitely works more accurately than a measuring cup. Okay, so J. Rose Sanders. Oh, another question.
Oh, this might be a follow-up. Okay.
Oh, on a non-fitness note, favorite movies. Yes, so unrelated.
We got really deep into trying to motivate you to be girl, you can do it. You're no different than anybody else. You have to start somewhere, and now it's favorite movies. No, we love this though, because this show is not just all about fitness and health. We want to have a broad range of questions so we can keep it interesting, not only for you guys to get to know us better, but it also makes things more interesting for us when we can talk about other things other than just fitness and health.
Right. And just to show that fitness is not an all or nothing obsessive lifestyle.
Yeah.
Like Brad and I have a great, like full, dynamic life. We don't only eat healthy and only go to the gym.
According to last night's pizza
we
we
do
ate.
love. Yeah. Last night we watched Jurassic Park.
Oh yeah, so we watched all of the Jurassic
The fourth
Parks.
one?
We watched the fourth one, which is from 2015.
But I would not list that as my favorite.
No, definitely not
a favorite.
Although I used to love dinosaurs growing
okay.
up. But my favorites would be Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith is one of my favorite ones.
That's such a great message. Yeah,
I love that movie.
touching.
And like one of these like softy rom-com romantic comedy movies was one of my favorites. One of the movies I saw probably most was How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days. With,
you do love
Kate
that
Hudson and
one.
Matthew McConaughey. That was like one of my favorites.
What
Just
a
Matthew
soft
McConaughey. I know
movie.
I got a little bit of a man crush on Matthew
Oh,
McConaughey.
I think that's so cute that like a rom-com is one of your faves.
And American Pie series.
No movies where they like blow up stuff.
Not really.
That's why I love him.
No, I love those kind of movies too, but not my favorite movies.
Yeah. Sometimes you want to watch dude flicks, and I'm
Oh,
like,
I want to watch them all the time.
don't you like that I Am Legend one?
Yeah, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah, it's kind of.
I like all Will Smith movies.
Yeah, all Will Smith movies.
Just
But
give us
I
your
like,
one favorite. We got to keep moving
Oh yeah.
here.
Despicable Me. I've watched it like 30 times. I freaking love it.
There you go.
The Minions.
Next question, Instagram from the Gentleman MMA 145 says, "Hey Brad and Jess, I've been having trouble trying to lean down. I eat clean and I'm in a deficit. I lift and I'm doing MMA training, but I can't seem to get away from the 14% body fat range. My weight goes down and up a lot. I really want to get to 10% by the end of July. Any tips for those last few pounds? I know they're the hardest to get rid of and that you've probably gotten asked this before. I appreciate any tips and feedback."
All right.
How to lose those last few pounds.
Yeah, I know, right? How many videos have we done on that topic? Quite a bit. Those last few pounds, they actually are the hardest.
Definitely.
Yeah, because as your body fat gets lower, it gets a little more stubborn because our bodies want to have some fat.
Holding on.
Yeah,
Survival.
because some fat is good for you and it's insulating and it's healthy to have some body fat. But 14% is not as low as a guy can get. Like for guys.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
So like I basically like if you were under 10%, like if you were 10% or under, I'd be like, dude, like you're good.
You're good.
14% is like honestly, I would say 14% is probably above average still for dudes.
It's lean.
Like if you
Yeah,
if you
it's
live in
still
America,
athletic. Yes.
14% is definitely above average, but
Yeah.
it's probably, I get you, it's not where you quite want to be if you're that into fitness.
What would you say is average for dudes?
In America, like 20?
20?
Yeah,
Yeah.
20%. So my answer would be, I say this all the time, you got to change it up. So you've hit a plateau. You said you're doing lifts and you're in a deficit in your MMA training. Well, how long have you been doing that for? If you've been doing the same style of lifts, so the same rep range, the same loads, the same exercises, the same order of doing them, your body has just hit a plateau. It's like, okay, we know what's happening. It's chest day, it's Monday. That means we're starting off with bench press. We're going to hit bench press at 2.5. Like, it gets it. It adapts. It knows.
If your body had a voice.
Exactly. Yeah. You're like, yo, bro, yeah, we got this coming up. We got this coming.
So predictable.
So you got to change it up, man. And I got to put it out there. I'm working on a program right now, a strength program that's a plateau busting program. So I want you to check out that program when it's ready. August 3rd, I'm throwing it out there. I already put it out there on Snapchat, is the date I'm launching. It's a date where,
It's a beast of a program.
yeah, I'm hoping we're going to hit, but
Oh, yeah, it's a tight deadline.
the bottom line is, dude, you got to change it up. So if you're in a deficit, maybe you need to eat a little bit more to kind of recharge your metabolism if you're too low. Or maybe you need to go even lower because you may think you may actually not be in a deficit or you're eating the wrong style of macros. So change up whatever you're doing and see
Yeah,
the
I was going to
change.
say food types could be a thing because if you're eating like a lot of starchy carbs or not enough protein or something like that. I mean, did he say he was figuring out his macros? Or?
Well, he just said he's in a deficit. So
deficit.
could be
Yeah,
not.
but you could be in a deficit yet still eating 100% carbs,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So the deficit is not the only thing. So I would try switching up or changing up your macros,
Yeah.
somehow changing the type of food you're eating
You
is
could
another
like
thing you could do.
incorporate like a carb cycling thing in
Uh-huh.
there as well. So we got to dig a little bit deeper with you,
Yes.
man. But just the bottom line is change whatever you're doing right now.
Okay, so we're going on to Cisco Bausch question. Can you explain paleo? I know the rules, but why oats and beans and dairy can be very healthy?
Okay, well, it can be very healthy on a scale of what? Like 1 to 100. Like very healthy is like a... okay, let me put this another way.
Healthy isn't black and white.
Yeah, it's not black and white. So yes, eating oats, milk, and black beans is better than eating at McDonald's. Right? So this is one of the things, like, but eating vegetables rather than eating bread is the next step of being healthy. So filling your plate with greens, with carrots, with the full rainbow colorful of a plate rather than having rice or white pasta on there is healthier. So that's one thing. I know that's not your question though. So to explain paleo, for people that don't know what it means, is basically eating the way that our ancestors ate. So our bodies are genetically, the DNA in our bodies are 99% the exact same as our ancestors from thousands and thousands of years ago. It hasn't changed. And what did our ancestors eat thousands and thousands of years ago? Real food, nuts, seeds, vegetables, meat, fruit. Like, they wasn't part of this agricultural world that we live in now, where we have things sent to us to a grocery store in a package and everything else. They ate food that came from the land. So plants and animals and local. Yeah, it wasn't shipped from
seasonal.
Guatemala to get to the US in 3 days. Like it's totally different. But so that's what it is. When we put these foods in our body that our body's DNA has not been used to from back in the day when we actually became who we are today, it doesn't really know what to do with it. But eating oats is better than eating like than a chocolate bar. Like so, there's different levels of health. I don't consider myself like a paleo, 100% paleo. Like I just don't. I don't classify myself as one thing from a diet perspective. But if I had to put it into one of those buckets, paleo is the closest thing because I just eat real food that's made up of healthy fats, protein, and then vegetables, and I keep the processed carbs down.
Yeah, a lot of people think that paleo means like you eat a ton of meat or like a ton of fat, like it's all bacon and steak basically.
Yeah.
But it's so not the truth. I mean, if you're paleo, you like the majority of your plate is like usually greens or veggies.
Yeah, it's a lot of vegetables.
And then you have like a small serving of meat or nuts or eggs or whatever. So it's not like it's an all meat diet. Yeah. It's not the same as the Atkins diet. Or
no, and that's what a lot of people
so,
think.
Yeah.
And then it's like, well, if people eat so much meat, why is the world so fat these days? Because the meat that McDonald's is serving you is not the same meat as what a paleo person eats.
Right.
Grass-fed, organic, than a processed hot dog, a processed
bologna.
I'm not going to get on
Lunchables.
I'm not going to get on a rant here. Like I got a paleo video out there that has been very popular with people, and I got people coming on there typically from a specific diet.
You're not gonna say
starting
which.
with a V, and they'll just bombard it with this and that. Oh yeah, like eat McDonald's. Like that's not what paleo is.
Right, and we're not sitting here promoting that you guys go eat like processed hamburger patties from drive-thrus. That is such a different. Like that's just different in every way.
It's not even real. Like
meat is not all created equal. Yeah. There are different types.
Let's
of meat.
move on. I think they get. They get the
now.
point, but these are the things that we deal with when YouTube comments and.
But did we really get to why the rules of paleo are what they are?
Yeah, like eat things that are genes that we're predisposed to be eating.
Your body can understand and process real foods better
and assimilate it and absorb it and then use it as energy as opposed to storing it as body fat and getting obese and diabetes and throwing our blood sugar all over the place with our high carb diets of today.
We do have oats and beans and dairy occasionally. Like as cheat meal. Like last night we had pizza, which is
on
grains
a cheat meal
and cheese all together.
Yeah.
And then we have whey protein too. So like he said, we're not paleo.
Yeah, and
we're not.
Exactly. They get the point. Let's move on.
All right.
But good question.
Yes.
Eddie Vedder at Muffin Toulouse on Twitter. Which is best for getting shredded? Lifting heavy and running 3 to 5 miles, or circuit training like CrossFit and sprint training? Get shredded.
Which is best for getting shredded?
Yeah.
I love it. I would say it depends. Don't you freaking hate that answer? How many times do we say that? It depends.
Yeah.
Always like think of the diapers called Depends.
I actually used that one in my videos before. I was like, it depends, and I put an image of the Depends up there. If you guys remember that video, tell me below.
I know. I'm sorry, you guys. It is so frustrating to hear us say that it always depends on so many factors.
Give the
but
broad,
it really
give the
does.
broad answer.
Yeah. I would say in general, the best thing for getting shredded is circuit training. I like the circuit training better for that purpose. But of course, it totally depends on how much muscle you currently have, what your starting point is, what your composition is like.
Because if you're already skinny,
right?
Like I don't consider skinny people shredded because they don't have any muscle. So by putting you on a circuit training, it's like, where's your gains, bro? So obviously we would put you on more of a resistance training, heavier, like 70% of your 1 rep max, that style of lifting in that hypertrophy zone of like 8 to 10 reps to build muscle.
Right.
But if you are...
muscle is key to being shredded.
But if you're like an endomorph, you're already a big dude, but you need to like shred down, we would put you on more of like a LiveLeanAfterburn.com style program where it's metabolic training. It's you're lifting weight, but you're also keeping your rest period short and you're moving from one to the other. Like it's athletic.
But those two are actually pretty similar because, right? He says, and running 3 to 5 miles right after. What? I mean, you're getting cardio and lifting in both of those scenarios.
Yeah, but running 3 to 5 miles is not creating the kind of metabolic boost in your body that LiveLean. I can't believe you just said that.
Well, I said the two options are somewhat similar, but...
No. So if I had to pick an option to get shredded from those two, like you saying lifting heavy and running for 3 to 5 miles, or circuit training like CrossFit and sprint training, I would go CrossFit and sprint training. But my answer would be more of like a LiveLean Afterburn style program and then work in sprint training with that, which in that program actually you can do that. Like it's all in there for you. It's all programmed. The bottom line is get on a damn program.
And Afterburn is the perfect one for getting shredded because how many people have gotten so shredded on that program?
Shredded.
Like so shredded.
Just like
remember when we did it? We got shredded.
We did. We still are shredded.
Oh, I used to be shredded.
All right, next.
I might do Afterburn again after I'm done being pregnant. Yeah. Okay. So Mo Ali at Free Sudani on Twitter says, what's your thoughts on sunscreen?
So sunscreen, so I did a video a little while back. It's called, what was it called? About the toxins in skincare.
Body products, like
body. I forget what it is. We'll link it up below. But it gives you the ingredients that you should look out for. So if it contains these parabens, these xenoestrogens, you don't want to use that sunscreen. And like most sunscreens on the major ones, the popular ones, it does have that stuff in it. So my thought on sunscreens are, I mean, this is just my personal thing. I like to go out in the sun for like 15 minutes without sunscreen to absorb the actual sunlight from the sun, the vitamin D and everything. And then you put sunscreen on if you're staying out longer than that.
I was going to say, I think the best natural sunscreen is to moderate or like reduce the amount of sun exposure you have at one time.
Yeah.
Because, you can use an umbrella or like go in the shade or put a hat on or something so that you expose yourself to sun in little amounts instead of like being in the sun for like 5 hours at a time or something. So that's what I like to do is I like to be in the sun just naturally without chemical sunscreens and then go in or, cover up somehow to avoid getting sunburn.
So I would just say go look for an organic sunscreen, but the problem with organic sunscreens that I've found are they suck
Sticky
to put on.
Like
you're used to the conventional ones that just go like this and you put it on and it's all good, greasy and everything. But the organic ones, you put it on, it's like, and then you put it on your face and it's like, then your face is just like a white ghost because it's just creamed on there.
Never rubs in.
Yeah, so I don't have an answer for you of a brand to use, but just go watch that video. Try to avoid those xenoestrogens and
wear a hat.
Do your research.
Yeah, as much as I wear a hat like a lot when I go out into the sun. I take Bruno for walks like for an hour every day, and I almost always wear a hat.
Final question from Liliana Surreal at Liliana Surreal 1 on Twitter says, "How did you and Jess become experts in fitness? What resources do you use? Thank you."
How did we become experts? Over time, with a lot of experience.
Well, we started off by getting our certifications. Yes. I mean, first I guess we started off that we realized we needed to make a change in our life.
Right.
So I basically was like, it's all in my book, Think and Live Lean. You can check it out at thinkandlivelean.com. But I talked about, being a kid growing up, even a young adult growing up, that I just didn't have any self-confidence. So I was like, I need to change. How do I change? Change on the outside, which then changed me on the inside. So I just did a lot of research, hired a coach, and then I just fell in love with fitness. And then I got my certifications, and then I just kept reading and reading and reading and applying and applying and applying and executing and executing. And I got results, and then people started asking me, how did I get results? I told them how to do it, and it just snowballed from there.
Right. It's a long process, but it's funny that you actually like did all that work on yourself and had a coach and everything before getting certified, because mine was actually the opposite. Like I got certified before I even knew or did anything. And I don't really recommend that. I do think that it's important. Now, if people ask me like if they should get certified and when they should get certified and stuff, I always encourage them to work on themselves first.
Yeah.
Because I just think that a certification is more valuable to you once you know things from real life experience.
Yeah. I mean, let's be real. Like,
please be real.
No, I don't.
Tell me what's real.
I don't want to get into it. No, I mean, I think the most important thing is I get a lot of questions from other personal trainers on what should I do next? I got my certification. Well,
which certification?
The next thing you should do is like apply everything you've learned to yourself and change yourself first so you can be an example for your clients. Like nobody out there is going to, I mean, yes, they do, because I see it all the time, that people hire trainers that don't apply what they've learned to themselves. Like it's in a sense, it's like, how is this, what's going on here?
Or maybe they applied it once and then let themselves go.
Yeah, like
there's a lot of that in the industry too.
There's a whole other story that I don't want to get into it, but bottom line is, I think, what was the question? Like just what?
How did you become an expert?
Yeah, it's just working on yourself, finding out what works for us. And
what reseurces did you use? Yeah, like we said,
I hired
real
a coach.
Life experience. I've had many coaches.
I hired a coach.
We've read a lot of books. We've done a lot of real life experience. That's what it is, I think, mostly. That is your best resource.
Yes, so that's it, guys. Thank you for another episode. We're hanging out with us. We are pumped that you guys join us week after week, and the questions are still flowing in. We love you guys, but we'll love you even more by you know what to do.
Review.
Head on over to iTunes. Hit us up with a review, hit us up with a star rating so we can grow and share these bad boys out with others. Like, we want to take this podcast to the next level along with the YouTube show that we do. So help us out.
Please, and thank you. All right, we'll see you guys next episode.
Question of the day.
Oh, what is it?
Question of the day is, let me just throw this one out to you. What are your favorite podcasts that you listen to? List your top 3 podcasts. We want to read them down in the comments below.
And it's totally okay if we're one of them, especially if we're number 1.
Yeah.
We hope.
Put them down below. We'll see you at the next episode. Thanks for watching. And
Live and lean.
Live and lean. Boy.